If you or someone you know has diabetes, you may have built up an extra supply of test strips and lancets. That's where we come in. We'll buy the supplies that you don't need and resell them to those in need to prevent waste. Help us make diabetes management more affordable. Visit us at teststripswithaz.com.
All right, we have Hunter Azure on the show. He will make his UFC debut next weekend at UFC Vancouver, taking on Brad Katona. Hunter, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, man. Feeling good and just ready to get this last week of training, man.
Exciting stuff, man. I mean, what a difference a summer makes, right? I mean, you get on the Contender Series in July, you win a fight, you win a contract, and then you get your UFC debut booked less than 2 months later. Like, how would you describe this last 7 or 8 weeks of your career?
Dude, it's been crazy. It's been awesome. I mean, everything I've been expecting and looking forward to. So, I mean, everything I've planned out and envisioned in my mind is just playing out. So it's just perfect timing.
I know for a lot of fighters, earning a contract on the Contender Series, it's a pretty surreal thing. I mean, it takes folks a little while for it to seem real, for it all to sink in. When would you say that moment happened for you, or did it feel real and sink in right away once you got the contract?
To be honest, I don't even know if it's really set in yet. Like I said, I've just envisioned this for so long and just knew I could be here that, like, right now, I've always envisioned being here in the UFC, and it's a big step for me, but I always wanted bigger and better. So this is just another step. Like, I got to get those feet wet, this first UFC fight, get that win, 8-0, and then I think after this first win is when things will start sinking in.
You fought a super tough guy on the Contender Series in Chris Ocon, and Dana White even said that Chris has a future in the sport. He could end up in the UFC someday. You got the win. It was a dominant performance for sure, but knowing the Contender Series criteria for the most part, I'm sure you may have been a little bummed that you didn't get the finish in that fight. So despite winning and despite getting the contract, fighting someone as tough and as scrappy as Chris is, were you able to take anything away from that fight, from that experience?
Yeah, I mean, I overlooked him a little bit. I didn't think he was going to be as good as he was. So I think I just rushed things a little too much, which it's good for me to see that and kind of have that experience in the cage. So, like, it's going to help me grow a lot in this next fight and just a little more patience. But Chris, yeah, he was a tough kid for sure. And, like, he made me earn that contract. And it was good from him on a losing end. It was good to have, like, the Dana White and them still talk about him and just see good things in him. So I knew I beat a great guy.
Now you get Brad Katona, former tough champion, just lost the first fight of his career. It's a tough contract winner against a Contender Series contract winner in Canada. How do you like this matchup with Brad?
I love the matchup. Like, I mean, I can't ask for a better name and a better opponent and matchups style-wise for my first UFC fight. Like, he has a name, he's a tough winner, so it's gonna be a great one to go out, put on a good showcase, and just have that first win with a known name. I mean, he just had his, like you said, he just had his first loss, so I'm looking to go in there and just give him a second. I mean, I know he's a tough kid, so I'm gonna go out there and just give it hell.
It's a hell of a card to debut on, with Gaethje and Cerrone being at the top of the lineup. I mean, you got a couple of Contender Series guys making their debuts, and yourself and Miles Johns against Canadians on the road, so to speak. Is it getting to the point where the time to get to this fight is going really slow for you? Like, you're itching to get in there and get this all going? Or are you enjoying and embracing the process to get to your first UFC fight?
Oh, man, I'm enjoying it. I'm loving every second of it. Like, just the whole training aspect. Like, I mean, I just clicked like a whole new switch over after I got this contract too. So I'm just excited, ready to go, and it's gonna be exciting.
When do you and your team head out to Vancouver?
We'll head out next Tuesday.
Have you been to Canada before, or is this your first time heading up there?
Well, I'm originally from Montana, so I've been to, like, Calgary and stuff, but it'll be my first time in Vancouver, and it's going to be a fun experience for sure.
Did you watch any film on Brad Katona, specifically his last fight with Merab Dvalishvili? Just because you, obviously being a very strong wrestler and seeing what Merab did to Katona back in May. I'm sure you were able to take a look at that footage and sense like, yeah, I think I get a pretty strong advantage in the wrestling aspect in this fight. Is that accurate?
Yeah. I mean, I watched plenty of film on him, and he has a lot of film to go over. So that was good, and to sit down with my coaches, go over it, and like to watch his last fight, the one he lost. I mean, it was his loss to a wrestler, so that's definitely up in my mind, and I know it's going to be in the back of his mind, knowing he lost to a wrestler before. So that plays to my advantage, definitely.
When you visualize this all going down next Saturday in Vancouver, how do you see this all playing out against Brad Katona?
He has good distance, and I mean he's not too wild of a fighter, so, and he's tough. I mean, he pretty much all decisions he goes to, so I'm not expecting nothing big or trying to go out there and finish him right away. If he gives me that opportunity, it is, but otherwise I just feel like honestly I feel like it's gonna be just a 3-round domination.
Knowing Miles is on this card as well, you're both coming off the Contender Series. Is there a part of you as a competitor that wants to outdo what he does? Like I think both of you guys are being mentioned in the same sentence when it comes to guys coming off the season, getting contracts on the show that could go on a little bit of a run here in the UFC. But do you look at it from a competitive standpoint, saying like, yeah, I want to win, but not only that, I want to do it way more impressively than Miles does. You know what I mean? Like be the MVP of the season, so to speak.
No, I mean, I'm not even giving a look at what he's doing right now. I've heard of him. I mean, I knew him from LFA, and I thought I'd match up with him sometime, but no, I'm not trying to outdo him or do anything right now. Like, yeah, there's much better, bigger names out there right now that I'm chasing after. So
you never want to look too far ahead, and obviously you get a big fight coming up for you in a little less than 2 weeks, but let's kind of just take a little guess here, take a look into the future. Let's say we have a conversation September 3rd, 2020, 1 year from right now. You'd be in the UFC for over a year. Where do you see yourself a year from right now?
I see myself knocking on that top 15 door for sure. And a year from now, hopefully I have like at least 4 UFC fights in by then. So
you're ready to stay as active as possible here.
Yep. Stay busy.
You want to get it, if all goes well, you come out relatively unscathed next Saturday. You want to try to get a second one in before the year's up?
Oh yeah, I'd love to get another one in by the year's up for sure. So focus is just go out there, put on my best performance, come out healthy, and let's start lining up another one.
Hunter Azure makes his UFC debut next Saturday night against Brad Katona at UFC Vancouver. Hunter, thanks for the time, man, especially so close to the fight. I know you got some training to do. Before we let you go, let the folks know where to find and follow you on the web, social media, any shout-outs, anything else you want to get off your chest. The floor is yours.
Just on Instagram or Facebook, it's just Hunter Azure. And just a big shout-out to my team over here at Fight Ready. I mean, I have a lot of great teammates and people are putting in the work with me, and my new conditioning coach is over at Neuroforce One. It's been amazing.
Hunter, thank you for the time, man. All the best to you next weekend.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.